This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Friday? It's a football Friday. Hopefully not the last football Friday of the 2025 season. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You guys are checking us out on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on the BamaCentral Facebook page. You're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed, rated, reviewed the program right there. If you missed yesterday's show, you can hear our friend Ryan Chapman of Oklahoma Sooners on SI join us to talk about tonight's playoff game. Friday night football. It's the college football playoffs. We're kicking it off right here in Norman. We made the drive yesterday, 10 and a half hours, Mason, but it was a straight shot, pretty smooth, no bad traffic, no wrecks, a few rainstorms, but everything was all good. We appreciate everybody who sent their well wishes. You can find the show is sponsored, by Derek Daniel State Farm Insurance. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. As well, the show is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. If you can call our friend Brax Garrison, our friend Dustin Foley, all those guys at Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. They'll come out and give you a free roofing inspection. Make sure your home is good to go for the storm season. If you had some of the rainstorms that we drove through in your area, make sure you give them a call at 877-787-6635. They'll come make sure that no damage was done. They'll come make sure you have no leaks in your roof so that you can have the peace of mind that you deserve. We're here with our man Mason Woods. You follow him at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. And we're going to do our traditional Football Friday segment. We're going to have just a little bit of a, first segment kind of freestyle. Then we'll go into picks, keys to the game. We'll pick our 3 Alabama players to watch, and then we will make our picks for the weekend. Alabama's game, you got Oregon and JMU, Tulane and Ole Miss. You've got Miami and Texas A&M. So it's going to be a full weekend full of college football, and we can't wait to get into it with you guys. Mason Woods, good morning, man. How we doing?
Doing good this morning. Doing good. I don't feel any better than I have felt about this game, but personally, I'm doing okay.
Doing okay. All right, that's good. I got one little topic to talk about before the game, but I want to go back to the injury report and just ask you, the team, the offense was trending in a pretty positive direction down the stretch. And then you end up with Parker Brailsford, big old ankle injury, and you end up with Cam Dewberry, foot, ankle injury out. Josh Cuevas breaks a foot in practice. So you miss him and you turn to a bunch of freshmen playing tight end, chipping defensive ends and trying to make catches over the middle. I mean, if Caleb Edwards, I love you, buddy, but if he catches that pass, it catches a pass in the SEC championship, Alabama's still driving, and Georgia isn't set up on the 12-yard line. I mean, obviously, it was 21-7 at that time, so who knows if they were able to get all the way down the field. But lots of holes in Alabama's lineup, particularly in the offense. No Jam Miller in the SEC title game. Ran pretty well in the Iron Bowl. Let's remember that before going out with an ankle injury. Kevin Riley, he's still out, but he's missed him over the last handful of weeks. But you look at the injury report, the latest update from last night basically stays the same for Alabama. Probable for Josh Cuevas, probable for Danny Lewis. Our man Will Miller was at the Tuscaloosa airport, saw Josh Cuevas, no walking boot as he was getting off the bus and getting onto the plane. Obviously, it's only about 20 feet of walking, but it's a pretty good sign that he's not using a walking boot. Cam Dewberry not on the injury report. Parker Brailsford not on the injury report. Jam Miller not on the injury report either. None of this makes you feel any better about the offense playing closer to where it was in the last few weeks of the year.
It still wasn't that good in the last few weeks of the year. I mean, you went up early against Auburn, and then your offense went completely stagnant, basically. You beat up on Eastern Illinois, And then the game before that, Oklahoma shut you out. Like you got a lot of yards, but you couldn't put any points on the board. So like, I don't think this offense was necessarily trending upward. I guess sure the Auburn game was somewhat better than what we had seen, but only on the ground. Ty Simpson threw for 122 yards in that game. Like it was not an offensive explosion for Alabama. And even if you want to say it was, that's a 5-7 Auburn team. I'm not really taking anything home on beating up on them. So I don't really buy that this offense was trending upward ever. I think they have been trending downward the entire back half of the season, and that Georgia game was like plummeting downward. But you haven't been shut out, so you still got further to go.
Well, the Georgia game is an outlier. That's the point I'm trying to make. The Georgia game with all those guys being hurt, I mean, that's a worst-case scenario. You've been on this 21-3 train.
But your best-case scenario is still not that great.
Your best-case scenario, what 27-20 against Auburn, 27 points against the Auburn Tigers on the road on the Plains? They got a good defense.
The vaunted Auburn Tigers that everyone knows is so good. They aren't bowl eligible, Joe.
They have a good defense. I'm pretty sure that they only gave up 27 points like twice all year.
Still, I'm not buying that this offense was trending up. This offense is trending downward and has been since Tennessee.
Well, the passing game certainly has been, but the running game has been coming along. I feel like it had been coming along.
I mean, you only for 160 yards against Auburn. It's not
that's
really,
your best.
That's not mind blowing.
160 is a good number.
That's fine. That's what you should be getting. Like it's not like you dominated on the ground or anything. If they had ran for 250, I'd be saying, yeah, sure. Their run game looked great.
Over under tonight for the Crimson Tide, 75 rushing yards. Where's the line for you for you to go over?
I think that's
or
probably
under?
right where I'd probably set it right around there, 80, 75, 80. And
yeah. 80 in the last game against Oklahoma.
Yeah. I think I probably I mean, I think it's going to be right around there again. I take the under just to keep with my hater streak here, but I think it's going to be right around the same rushing total. You're going to be right in that 75, 80 yard range.
Our man Barry Nummy commenting on the Facebook page. Appreciate you hanging out with us today, Barry. Saying, wow, RTR. Wow at you, Mason Woods, at your lack of faith. Barry, what's your prediction for Alabama's game against Oklahoma? Leave it in the comments. We'll pop it up and talk about it real quick. But I just think that the offense, everybody's got and they should. They've got the SEC championship game performance stuck in their brain. It was so bad. And it was so bad. It will never be better. It's never going to be fixed. I just have maybe it's crazy, maybe it's homerism, a feeling that the offense is going to look closer to how it did in the end of the SEC regular season, where you did get up 17-0 on the Auburn Tigers. You did put 406 yards up against Oklahoma. You kind of managed the game against LSU as well. You weren't explosive, but you managed the game. You managed the field position, and you didn't really have that many negative plays. You had obviously a sack fumble in that game also, but not really huge negative plays.
Leading rusher had 21 yards in that game.
That's fine. We'll just mix it up. We'll have Jam with 25 yards. We'll have Ty with 18 yards. We'll have Daniel Hill with 22 yards. There's your 60 right there. We'll give Jeremy for 10 yards. We'll get Ryan Williams for 15 yards. You're at 75-80. You're good.
That's a winning formula right there for sure.
Well, it might be in this game where the other offense is not really that strong either.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I certainly give credence to the fact that Oklahoma's offense is mid at best. I don't disagree with that. I think Alabama's offense is bad. I think Oklahoma might be a little better. I think they're it's kind of a toss-up offensively. But, as I've said throughout the whole week, Oklahoma's defense is better. Now, you may think I think they're probably a little better than Alabama than you think they are. I still think you would agree with me saying their defense is better than Alabama's, though. Their special teams is miles better.
Yes. Look, Alabama's offense total yardage 389 this season, 389 per game. Oklahoma 353. They're not good either.
I never said they were.
So all you're going to need, Crimson Tide, is 10 points. You're going to need 3 Connor Talty field goals.
He can't make them.
Jonas
said he can. He had a good game against Auburn. I'll give him that.
Let the cat out of the bag. That's going to be my bold prediction for the day and for the night, is that Connor Talty outscores Luke Rosa winner Tate Sandell.
I hope that is true, and I hope Connor Talty gives a bird to everybody in the stadium as he walks out after he hits a game-winning field goal or something.
Yeah,
and then he gets on Twitter, and I hope he talks to every Alabama fan in his replies.
That part I do hope. Hey, like, you should have stuck by me. You should have stuck by me. Yada, yada, yada. You don't really love me. Barry Nummy saying special teams, because he knows Oklahoma's special teams is really good and Alabama's not so good really through the year.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously Tate Sandell is an incredible kicker. We've seen we can do this season, but I mean, it goes beyond him too. Like, they've got very explosive returners. They seemingly have good coverage and things on punt. So like, it's not just field goal kicker. Alabama is deficient in many places on special teams, field goal kicker being probably the most prominent and the one that you notice the most, but your punter has been pretty inconsistent. He's had really good weeks, but he's also had really bad weeks. So, like, you don't really know what you're going to get out of him. And then, as we kind of talked about either yesterday or day before, maybe, like, you don't have an explosive punt returner that you trust.
Yeah, that's going to be, all facets of the game are pretty concerning with it when it comes to special teams. I guess
you see a lot of punting in this game.
Hey, that's fine. End every drive in a kick, not a pick six and not a sack fumble. Then you'll be okay. Give your defense a chance. Because look, John Mateer might cough one up to you and throw an interception, and you can have Xavier Brown, have Justin Jefferson. If you had 2, because I know Justin Jefferson had one. Was it Yanzi Pierre who had another opportunity in the Oklahoma game? But 2 guys at least had hands on footballs and weren't able to pull it in. All you got to do is avoid the catastrophic plays, and I think you're going to give yourself a chance to win the game.
That's correct. I don't have much faith that they can avoid those catastrophic plays. They've had one of them at least in every game, basically, the last 6 weeks.
So let's start spinning forward to keys to the game. I've got one more little area to go to. Obviously, we're in Norman. We're in Oklahoma City. We'll be in Norman tonight for the game on BamaCentral.com. You can follow us, Hunter DeCiver on the Twitter machine, Katie Wyndham _ at Joe Gaither 6. We'll all be tweeting about our experiences over there in Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be over there about 3:30 or so, and so we'll have a lot of fun tonight. The weather looks pretty good. It was pretty clear yesterday after we passed Little Rock. We got through some storms, but the weather looks pretty good tonight. The forecast calls for 46 degrees, a clear sky, winds. Here's the problem, Mason: 15 to 25 miles an hour winds. It's going to be blowing right here in Norman. As I was driving, when we crossed the state line and got into Oklahoma, it was holding on to the steering wheel because it was. I could feel it. I mean, obviously we stayed on the interstate; everything was fine, but I could feel the wind kind of trying to push us around the road a little bit, and so maybe concern for deep passes, maybe concern for field goals, maybe concern for punts.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
That's something that we kind of brought up, I think, on Wednesday's show. Like, I almost want to say that a crazy weather game sort of plays into Alabama's favor just because it almost takes away specialty. It takes away the ability to kick field goals super effectively. So, like, you kind of make that aspect of where Oklahoma has such a huge advantage over you kind of irrelevant.
All right, the only other aspect I want to go to comes from our friend Clint Lamb. Clint Lamb covering Alabama for Cover Crimson. He wrote out last night, this morning, the last 9 scoring drives for Oklahoma compared to the last 10 scoring drives for Alabama. These drives for Oklahoma: 23 yards, 31 yards, 22 yards, 90 yards, 35 yards, 47 yards, 53 yards, 45 yards, 84 yards. The last 9 Oklahoma scoring drives averaged 5.1 plays and 47.7 yards, and yielded 5 touchdowns and 4 field goals. For Alabama, 72 yards, 78 yards, 75 yards, 27 yards, 65 yards, 64 yards, 75 yards, 91 yards, averaging 8.5 plays, 61.1 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 field goals. We've been dancing and talking about special teams all this entire first segment. The field position is just insane.
Yeah. Did 6 of those come against Eastern Illinois for Alabama?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
They're the last 10 drives.
That might skew things a bit, success rate wise. No.
Oh no! These are just period the last 10 scoring drives. Not.
Yeah. So over half of those were against Eastern Illinois. You went 1 touchdown against Georgia and 3 scoring drives against Auburn. 6 of them against Eastern Illinois. Like I don't take any. Nothing you did against Eastern Illinois changes my mind one way or the other. It's like, I mean, I think if we remove that game from this equation and then look at the 6 before that, I don't know what those numbers look like, but that's the Oklahoma game and the LSU game where Oklahoma gave you put up a bunch of yards, so might help your case there. But LSU, you were flat on offense all game. I don't know that really changes my mind a lot one way or the other.
Oh no! The point was basically the field position that Alabama has had to overcome, whereas the field position that Oklahoma has really taken advantage of. And the point being, Oklahoma's defense and special teams have basically cut out two first downs, 47 yards to 61 yards, 2 sets of first downs, and you look at their numbers as well. Their offense, this long drive, this 90-yard drive for Oklahoma, 3 plays.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that
3 plays for 84 yards on their last touchdown drive. If you could just make them drive the field, I think you're going to have a really good chance in this game. Whereas Alabama, sure. Whereas Alabama has proven it can drive the field
against Eastern Illinois.
It's had to. And the last drive right there is against the Georgia Bulldogs. 9 plays, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
When the game was already completely decided and Georgia was done playing for the night.
It wasn't decided by then.
Okay.
They scored.
I'm just saying. I don't think this is a bit of a cherry picked metric here. When over half of Alabama's examples came against Eastern Illinois.
And they drove the field consistent. That's the other
part. They drove the field against a middle school team.
Sure, we'll look at it through your lens. No explosive plays against a middle school team. No explosive plays.
Bad. I just don't think. Yes, I agree with you that Oklahoma has gotten incredibly favorable field position, but Alabama has not overcome this really difficult field position either.
Well, it definitely didn't in the SEC championship game. I'm pretty sure that none of their drives started past the 25. So pretty difficult that night in Atlanta. All right, Mason, let's move right into our keys to the game. And I guess I'm going to make you be creative because you think that there's no keys to the game that Alabama can, no way that Alabama can win this game. So the keys to the game, obviously brought to you by Derek Daniels State Farm Insurance. We appreciate Derek for sponsoring the program each and every day. You can call Derek for your insurance at 205-758-3391. Anywhere in the state of Alabama, but we especially encourage you if you're listening to us in the West Alabama area, because Derek probably knows what street you're living on, knows what high school you went to, knows where you've got problems. And look, if you've got problems with your house, Derek knows who to send to your house to take care of it when you've got homeowners insurance with Derek Daniels State Farm Insurance. So call him at 205-758-3391. He'll give you a very fast auto insurance quote, homeowners insurance quote. They can work with you with life insurance. If you've got loved ones, you need to make sure that you have life insurance. So call Derek today at 205-758-3391. Mason Woods, if Alabama wins the game tonight, if they're going to make you look like a fool, what are their keys to the game?
Well, I mean, I think you have done a pretty good job of, and I agree with you. There is a path to victory in this game, and it's relatively obvious. I just don't believe that Alabama has the ability to follow that path. But that being said, that path is don't turn the ball over, protect Ty as much as you can, and probably and I'll say, don't allow any explosive special teams plays. Don't let them get a big punt return and set up well on offense. It's really just like you kind of just said before we got into this segment, like the biggest thing and the biggest key, and again, I just don't know that they can do this, is not letting Oklahoma get set up in plus territory, because they'll take advantage of it. They have proven they can take advantage of it. They have explosive guys on the outside. They are able to kind of figure things out just enough to get those 45, 50 yard, whatever they need there to score a touchdown. And if you can stop that, yeah, you have a good chance to win this game. I don't really trust Alabama can stop that from happening.
Oh, man, you got to trust Kane Womack. You got to trust the defense.
I do trust the defense, but it's more about the offense. It's the offense not being able to get out, out of their own territory, and thus setting Oklahoma up well. It's Ty Simpson making errant throws. It's receivers dropping passes and guys catching tip ball. It's all kinds of things that it's more the offense. I do not trust the offense. I trust the defense. They're good, but when they're put on their heels, there's only so much you can do.
I think that you're exactly right as far as what they need to do: win the turnover battle, avoid special teams, kind of miscues, and really protect Ty Simpson. I think really for Alabama, if you want to get under the hood, it's winning on first down. It's winning on first down on offense, and so that you're not sitting there at 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12.
If you can keep R. Mason Thomas off the field. Whew.
Yeah, and you just stay on schedule. Like Alabama, they went a couple plays and out against Auburn, and then they started to build some momentum because they just stuck with the run. They stayed on time. Like for Ty Simpson, for Ryan Grubb, I know it's fun to have explosive plays and to try to go 20 yards at a time, 15 yards at a time down the field. But my man's like, can we just go 5 yards at a time? Can we make – I don't know who it was that I heard this year on a podcast saying this, but it was an old quarterback, and he was basically saying my coach used to say, just call the plays to get a first down. Just call the plays to get a first down instead of calling the plays to score a touchdown every play. And I know this coaching staff, they said it. They said it in the spring. They said it in the summer. We want to be aggressive. We want to be explosive on offense. Well, we haven't been explosive on offense, period. You haven't been explosive basically all year. So can we just look ourselves in the mirror, Alabama, and realize we can't be explosive, but we can be consistent. We can go 5 yards at a time and make you get, look at Vanderbilt over the last 2 years. They haven't really been that explosive, but they have said, hey, this is who we are. We can march. We can death march you down the field 3 yards at a time and frustrate the ever-loving mess out of you. Well, Alabama's got enough talent to be able to do that. So can we not just, hey, all we need on this play is 3.33 yards. Obviously, you want to get 5, 6, 7 yards, but can we just call the plays to stay on schedule? And so for me, I think it's staying on schedule, winning on first down. Don't go backwards on first down. Have positive plays. So at the minimum, you're sitting there at 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, and you're operating in that range. And when it's 3rd and 6 and they think you're going to pass, that's when you can hit them with a draw and run for 7 yards. Or Ty Simpson can scramble and take his 7 yards and slide. I don't think the Ty's really done a very good job using his athleticism this year. There's no reason not to at this point because there's no tomorrow. So for me, my biggest key is probably winning on first down. Really, the biggest key is the turnover battle. But you said that, so I think turnover battle is huge. If you can end every drive in a punt, even if it's a bad punt, don't give them the explosive punt return that you did. Just punt it out of bounds. It's fine. Set the defense up, get a 33-yard net, and just punt it out of bounds.
As long as you're putting Oklahoma behind their own 40, you're feeling okay about that. Just don't let them get at midfield or plus that.
Yeah, so my biggest key really is the turnover battle, but I think that's fairly obvious. I guess the under the hood key is winning on first down and staying on schedule. And really defensively, it's getting after it's hemming in John Mateer, making him feel you. Obviously, the 20-yard touchdown run that he had was their only real offensive points right here in Tuscaloosa. they're going to – look, Tate Sandell is going to kick some field goals. Was I a
Yep.
little tongue-in-cheek with Connor Talty outscoring him? Sure, I was. But he's going to kick some field goals, or he's going to have some opportunities to kick some field goals. You can't give up the explosive run right up the middle for 20 yards as Mateer's just spinning off tacklers and cutting right through. You've got to stop the quarterback run, and that is tied in with the perimeter screen game that they have because they just try to move you laterally left and right before they hit you right up the middle with quarterback run. And so for me, it's defensively, it's making John Mateer feel you. If he's going to play without this wrap, well, buddy, you've got to make sure you're getting home and he's feeling everything you've got on his hand and on his body, and so that he knows, okay, I've got to get rid of it a second sooner than I want to, or I can't run for these yards because there's guys that are about to crush me. I think you've got to make John Mateer feel you. And then we both been dancing around it the whole 26 minutes. It's the special teams. It's not messing up on special teams where you are. Like, you can't have a block punt, period. You have a block punt, you're going to lose. People kind of got after me a little bit. You're boiling the Georgia loss down to one play. I am, but I'm not as a whole, but I am. You block a punt right there. You set Georgia up on the 20. They go 7-0. The defense has basically nothing behind them. Georgia goes 7-0. The momentum is on Georgia's favor. Georgia
It's a
never
big mental thing. It's
right.
It's a bit like you getting a punt blocked is very like demoralizing. It is not just, oh, they got a good setup. It's like, oh man, we are soft. We can't block. It's all kinds of things.
Yeah, and I 76% of stats are made up. I'm pretty sure that I saw if you have a punt block, you lose 85% of your games. Like,
that wouldn't shock me if that was true.
It's just one of those things that so you can't have a punt block.
Yeah.
When you punt the ball to Isaiah Satanga like you did in Tuscaloosa,
man.
Marcia Brooks, I love your effort. You've been a great freshman, but you have to get the guy down. You have to tackle, right? You can't let it go 35, 40 yards the other way. And so, like, look, same thing. Are we going to play two punt returners in the back end? Well, Ryan, you've got to just secure the ball. You're back there to secure the ball. I know you want to make a play, but you fumbled the football.
Offense.
Right. Go set the offense up with 1st and 10 from wherever you got the punt. If you get us 5 yards and you get tackled, fine, but secure the dadgum football. So like the special teams errors, like people have been talking about the turnovers, but I think if you just cleaned up the special teams in Tuscaloosa, then you would have won the game. You make your you make your chip shot field goal, you've won by 2. You don't fumble the punt return and punt it away 3 plays later. Okay, the defense is still on the field and you didn't give up 7 points to Mateer running up the gut. Yep. You cover the special teams guy on the first you cover Satanga on the first punt return. They're not kicking a field goal to go up 3-0. Like, these things matter so much, and so for me, that's probably the turnovers as the biggest umbrella. But winning on first down, making John Mateer feel you, and then winning the special teams battle. Those are my keys to Alabama's game against Oklahoma in the college football playoff first round.
When you were talking about that first key there, all I could think about was I had a high school football coach, and I've told you about my high school football days. In 4 seasons, I only played 3. I got hurt the last year, but we collected 3 victories in 4 years. So 3 and 37 or whatever our record was. I went through 3 different coaches, but one of the coaches, we used to basically the entire mantra of the offense was 3 yards is a good play. All you need is 3 yards. And to hear you, while I don't disagree with you that is basically what the Alabama offense needs to enact in this game, it's not great when the only other reference I have for that is my 0-10 football team preaching that same message. It does not give me much more confidence in this Alabama football team.
Certainly, but I can understand where you're coming from. But this Alabama team has, we're going to be explosive. We're going to stretch you out down the field.
Yeah, they very obviously can't.
Right. Just lean into what you can do. Do what you can do. And
I think that can win this game. It won't beat Indiana, but who cares? That can win this game.
We're on a 1-game season right here, Alabama.
Yeah,
so
I don't disagree. I mean, even in like, sorry, just to like a really short tangent. Like, I know that Alabama fans are all, crying and searching for a championship, whatever. But like, in all honesty, just a playoff victory would satisfy all of them. All of the talk would be quiet this offseason. It'd be, yeah, sure, disappointed you lost to Indiana, whatever, but it'd be, oh, I'm the number one team. We'll be back next year. Like, all of it would just quiet down.
Yeah, you win this game, you go out to the Rose Bowl, let's say you lose by 10.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I think people are
you don't get destroyed.
The crazy part of the fan base, and I say that lovingly, but the crazy part of the fan base would still be, you know what, that Kalen DeBoer fella, he's all right. He's all right. Right now, you've still got, man, all day yesterday as I was driving out yesterday, Mason, I would pull up Twitter every 25, 30 minutes, just kind of like changing my mind up a little bit. And every time it was a new national media member talking about, well, Kalen DeBoer's job's on the line. Kalen DeBoer's job on the line. And I'm like, are y'all crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a very strange storyline that just for some reason refuses to die, despite him having like addressed it twice himself and completely shut it down both times.
I don't really think that Coach DeBoer's job is on the line. And while I don't think that the Michigan possibility is 0, I don't think it's any higher than 3%. So it's not worth really worrying about.
Yeah, I think Alabama is good. I think Kalen DeBoer is happy where he's at. I don't really think there's much threat of him leaving or being fired.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move right into our 3 players to watch tonight. Before we do, I'll let you know the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacement, insurance claim support, and more. Call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for your free roof inspection today. Purple Turtle Roofing, roofing with heart, built to last. All right, Mason Woods, if Alabama's going to pull off the upset, who are 3 players you think need to either stand out, need to surprise you, need to just do their job? Who are your 3 players to watch for the Crimson Tide?
Oh, man. I'm going to start with the offensive line, and I'm going to go Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor is going to have to prove why he was named an All-American in this game because personally, I have not seen it at all this season. He's going to have to show exactly why he has received these accolades, in my opinion. And I think it's a great opportunity for him to do that. I mean, he's going to be facing, we have, this elite defensive front that we have talked all about. Obviously, he will be, if Alabama is set up in some pass rush situations, he's going to be facing our Mason Thomas, who we've talked a lot about. And it's a good spot for him to put out some, good tape against elite defenders. So that is going to be the first guy that I'm looking for to have a good game. I hope he can do it because if not, it's going to be a long night for Ty Simpson back there, I think. Next guy, go to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to go with Bray Hubbard. He's been your guy all season. He has been the guy on that defense, one of the most consistent pieces of the defense. I know people, are maybe still angry about that Florida State game, but I think he has done more than enough to make up for it in the game since then. He's been the go-to turnover guy as well, basically on the defense. I would not be shocked if you get one in this game that he's coming down with it. So I'll be looking for Bray Hubbard. And the third guy, man, we've already talked about him a little bit, and it might be a bit of a wild card, but I'm going to go with Lazier Brooks. I'd like to see him get involved on the offense, maybe get the ball in his hands early and see what he can do in the open field. But also, and you mentioned it, like what he can do on special teams. I need to see him covering things effectively, need to see him, maybe they throw him back there as a returner. Who knows? If they do, maybe he can make a play. I'll just be watching to see what we get out of Lazier Brooks this week or tonight.
I like that. Caden Proctor, Bray Hubbard, and Lazier Brooks. I also had Bray Hubbard in my top little mentions, so good shout right there. I'll take the lowest hanging fruit because if Ty Simpson doesn't play well, the game is over. There's no reason to go right out onto the field. I know that's not really what this segment's really designed for. It's more kind of the off the wall. But I do think that as Ty Simpson goes tonight, if he can make good decisions and deliver accurate footballs, I mean, I don't know that we've been really very. I don't know that we've really pointed out, but I don't really feel like Ty Simpson's been the most accurate quarterback all year. We focused a lot on the deep ball passing, the overthrows here, which I think we all understand. But I think you just need to be accurate from 0 to 8 yards, more accurate from 0 to 8 yards. He's been really excellent, 8 to 15 yards.
Yeah.
And so I think, Ty, you need to be more accurate from 0 to 8 yards. If you can do that and then maintain the accuracy that you've had intermediate wise, then I think Alabama's going to have a really good chance to move the football. For me, Ty's probably the easiest, lowest hanging fruit. And I'm just going to go take him because if he has a bad game, then this Alabama offense has no chance against this defense. So that's my number 1 pick. Number 2 pick, oh boy. I will go in the spirit of the segment. I'll go off the wall. I'll take Red Morgan. Red Morgan got his first start of the season against the Oklahoma Sooners, and I think he will be heavily involved in the game plan again right here because I do think that they try to get after you on the perimeter with Satanga and screen passes and swing passes and try to spread you side to side. And I think Red, Coach Ken Womack has called him the best striker on the team. Well, you're going to have to strike somebody. Can you force a fumble? Can you force a fumble? Can you make a play on the perimeter and make life really difficult for this Oklahoma offense? Can you blow up a blocker that's trying to block for Isaiah Satanga and make Satanga second guess what direction he wants to go in, slow him down a little bit? I'll go with Red Morgan number 2. And number three. Give me, ooh, I want to say Jam, but I also want to say Daniel Hill. Give me Daniel Hill because he had 15 carries for 60 yards in the last game against the Oklahoma Sooners. So yeah, I think that he's going to be very important to do what we were talking about earlier in the segment: staying on time, staying ahead of the chains. You're getting your 3 yards. I mean, 15 carries, 60 yards. It's not exactly like eye-popping numbers. What's that? 16 divided by is 4 yards a carry, basically. If you can do that, right? If you can do that, if you make this Oklahoma, that's the other part. Make this Oklahoma defense a little bit, not to say that you can get them. Oh, we quit, but punish them. Make them feel you every time they want to tackle you. I don't think that the Oklahoma defense is one that's going to say, "Oh, we're tired of tackling that guy, we quit." But I do think Daniel Hill can soften him up a little bit, can slow him down a little bit, can really physically impact the Oklahoma defense on a whole. And so going hand in hand with Ty Simpson, I'm going with Daniel Hill. So I'm going Red Morgan, I'm going Ty Simpson, and I'm going Daniel Hill as my 3 players to watch for the Crimson Tide. All right, we are at the business end, Mason Woods. It's time to make some picks, and I think we only have a couple of games to look at this week because it's just the 4 first-round games that are on the list for the college football playoff. It starts tonight, but we won't start with tonight's game. We'll start with Saturday's game. We'll start with Saturday. Miami is at Texas A&M. We'll just do Saturday's trio, then we'll circle back to Alabama's and finish this thing up. We appreciate everybody who's watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel. We're going to have a lot more coverage of the game today. We're going to have videos of the players walking into Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium. We'll have all kinds of post-game videos as well right there on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. But at 11 a.m. on Saturday, Mason Woods, number 10 Miami is going to Texas A&M. You guys can watch it on ABC or ESPN. The Aggies are a 3-point home favorite. This is the Notre Dame Bowl. Which team will Notre Dame be pulling for, and who's going to win?
Oh man, I've gone kind of back and forth on this, but I think I'm gonna stick with what my original gut told me, and it's gonna be the Miami Hurricanes. I don't really know what it is. I just don't trust Texas A&M that much. They appeared to be one of the best teams in the nation throughout the entire season, and might still be. Maybe I'm incorrect, but you get punched in the mouth by Texas, the first real team that you kind of play all year. So I'm not really all that overly impressed. You did get that week 1 win against Notre Dame. Notre Dame, who notably did not make the playoff. I still think Notre Dame still think it's a nice win, but it's a 3-point win at home. So you kind of. I don't know. I like Miami to maybe come in and surprise Texas A&M a little bit and catch them off guard.
Yeah, I think this is a really hard game to pick because you have a lot of psychological factors at play. You have Miami who gets new life. Oh, we were out and we didn't play on championship weekend and somehow got in. A lot of things went our way. New life for the Miami Hurricanes. You have Texas A&M, who the last time we saw them was frankly getting bludgeoned by Texas. They I thought Texas kind of dominated that game, and that was really their biggest test of the season outside of the season, the first part of the game, first part of the season with the Notre Dame win. They were fortunate to get to play the bottom end of the SEC, and that's what ended up leaving them out of the SEC championship game. And so the last 3 weeks, two and a half weeks for Texas A&M, it's all been, oh, well, you guys stink. You guys aren't really that good. You're not that nobody believes in you. You shouldn't be here. If you'd have played a harder SEC schedule, you wouldn't be in XYZ ABC. And so you got some we have a point to prove. I think you have a really interesting psychological battle here for both of these teams. And I do want to pick Miami, but I think the 12th man is going to pick them up. I think Texas A&M is probably going to win a close game. I like Carson Beck a lot. I don't love Marcel Reed, but I do think he's a interesting quarterback. He plays a really fun style. I think he plays a pretty risky style, but they already announced Mario Craver signed a contract extension for Texas A&M, which is weird. All that he is. I'm going to take the A&M, and I'm going to take them close. I don't even at -3. I think that I like Miami at +3, but I think I like Texas A&M to win the game and advance. At 2:30, Mason Woods, you get the first of two, maybe lopsided games. We'll see. We'll find out. Maybe the Tulane can surprise us. You see, John Summerall invited Lane Kiffin. I guess it was probably tongue in cheek. Invited Lane Kiffin to watch the game in his box. Number 11 Tulane is going to Oxford to take on number 6 Ole Miss. The Rebels are a 17.5-point home favorite with new head coach Pete Golding. Right, Pete Golding. Right, get you a beer. Right. So what do you think? They just hired Frank Wilson as their, they've hired all kinds of LSU folks away. It's been this weird time in Oxford. What actually happens on the field?
I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to take Ole Miss big. I think they're going to be playing angry in this game. I think they're going to be playing to prove to Lane Kiffin, hey, you should have stayed here. You could have stuck with us, and we could go win something. And I think they have gotten a very favorable matchup against a Tulane team that, in my opinion, doesn't really deserve to be here at all. So I like Ole Miss in this game. I think it will be very similar to the last time that these two teams played.
I agree with you. I would imagine that John Summerall has probably done as good a job as he had, as good a job as he can, working both jobs, Tulane and Florida. But that just takes a lot out of
distracted.
Somebody. Right. And I do think he's probably feels confident in his game plan. But in Oxford, going back wearing traditional uniforms, we commented on that before the show started. Ole Miss is going back wearing. They ain't playing that powder blue from Lane Kiffin's era. They're going back to a very traditional Ole Miss uniform. I think Pete Golding is going to fire them up, and they're going to win pretty big right there. Last game on Saturday, 6:30. JMU, number 12, James Madison, the last team in the field, is going out to Autzen Stadium to take on the Oregon Ducks, number 5, Oregon. Oregon is a 20.5-point favorite. Did you see the hypothetical floating around Twitter yesterday, Mason? How many Myles Garrett clones would you have to put on James Madison before you favored them in this game?
2. I mean, you put 2 Myles Garrett's on this field, it is completely shutting down anything Oregon can do offensively. Like you can't get the ball out fast enough before you have him, running at you like with his hands up, ready to bat down anything. And then you try to set up a little whatever long developing run. Oh, there's Myles Garrett to take you down. It's like I mean, realistically, I think you throw one on either side of the offensive line, they are wreaking absolute havoc. Now it might be tough for James Madison to, score the required 3 to 10 points to win that football game, but I think they could probably figure that out. However, that's not going to be happening this game. That will not be happening tonight on Saturday. Oregon is going to dominate this football game. I did hear somebody make an interesting point that I think I mean just kind of plays into this even more. Like, yes, we have trap games in college football. You have games where Power 5 teams have lost to Group of 5 teams. Like, sure, it has happened. I'm not going to sit here and act like it hasn't happened before. But very, very rarely, if ever, have we seen two teams from, one from the Power 5, one from the Group of 5 facing off in a playoff format where the Power 5 team is completely 1,000% locked in, looking at their goal, ready to dominate in every like when it's a regular season game, more often than not those guys probably aren't caring too much about whoever's coming into their stadium to get paid $1 million so they can get their brains stomped on. But Oregon's locked in for this game. It's a playoff game. This college football playoff matchup, they are locked in. They are 100% ready. I think they beat James Madison worse than Ole Miss beats Tulane.
Yeah, Dan Lanning is on whatever he's on to the nth degree on Saturday. He is just
I would not be surprised if Oregon puts up 70 points in this game.
And I hope
I think they'll run it up.
I hope that everybody who's advocated for the Group of 5 to get a seat at this table doesn't turn it off. You can't watch
every second of it.
You can't turn it to Fox and watch the NFL game, whoever's the afternoon game. You can't do that. I know the Bears are playing an hour later. You cannot watch Bears Packers. You have to sit there and watch Oregon absolutely bludgeon this team to death and think, oh, we don't need to see this ever again. I'm with you. I think Dan Lanning is the type to just. I think Dan Lanning's the type to.
He's a psycho.
Right, no mercy, and there shouldn't be any mercy. But no. Here's my only thing the only pushback that I'll have is this. I think this Oregon this JMU social media account that's been like bantering back and forth with the Oklahoma or with the Oregon people. They've been trying to do everything they can to, little cute JMU, you're so cute. We're not taking you that seriously. It's great you're coming to Autzen. Come enjoy yourself so that the team is relaxed. But Dan Lanning's not hearing any of that. And he's just going to Dante Moore. They're going to go crazy, I think.
I agree.
And so whatever what's the line from the Mean Girls? Lindsay Lohan says, the limit does not exist. She said the limit does not exist for the Oregon Ducks on Saturday. So I'm with you. I think that we're going opposite ways with Texas A&M and Miami. We're both in lockstep with Oregon and Ole Miss. But we're here to really finish this bad boy up and talk about Alabama's game tonight against the Oklahoma Sooners. 7 o'clock on ABC. You'll be able to follow all the coverage on BamaCentral.com. We'll have live updates. We'll have all kinds of storylines and written work after the game. We'll have all kinds of stuff on the Bama Central YouTube channel. You can find us on the social media machines at Hunter DeCiver, at Katie Wyndham _ and at Joe Gaither 6. You'll be able to see all our tweets from the game. Mason Woods, final thoughts. This is your last chance. My last rope, my last life vest to you, my last little preserver. Are you going to step off 21-3? Here it is. I know you've been. Man. I got to stand on business, but no, you don't have to. Here's my rope to you.
I will not be picking Alabama to win this game. I might come off of 21-3. It's been a bit of an exaggeration throughout the whole week. I still don't think Alabama can win, though. I'm probably go Oklahoma 20, Alabama 13.
20-13. So you're giving the Alabama offense a little more credit, but Alabama season ends in Norman virtually for the second year in a row. Didn't actually end last year out here, but it
pretty
did.
much did. Yeah. For all intents and purposes.
But it literally will end tonight in Norman if they are unable to win the game. Say that one more time.
2013.
20-13. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes for Mason Woods. I'm still thinking that Alabama's going to come out with a close one. I still think that Alabama's going to win. I haven't really been settled on my score all week long, but I'm with everybody who says it's going to be a lower scoring game. I do think that Alabama's defense is really, really good, as is Oklahoma's. I think Alabama's offense is going to be able to find a way to score some points. I think you gave Kalen DeBoer extra time, and we have seen him usually work well with extra time, usually game plan well with extra time. And I think that Alabama has been hearing for the last 2 weeks that they suck, that they're dead, that they were gifted a place in the playoff, that
they listen
the
to this show
dynasty's over, and it's no good. They can't win. There's no chance. Oh, media put them in. Oh, the committee put them in for money. You don't really deserve. Look, just think about over the last decade. Every time that Alabama, they suck, they're dead, they're no good, they're not as good, usually bounce back in a big, big way, whether it be under Coach Saban or even under Coach DeBoer. Florida State, worst team ever, terrible performance, throw them out. We should fire the coaches. And then they rattle off 8 consecutive wins. And they really play strong. I mean, yes, bad competition against ULM and Wisconsin, but they really play extremely strong football for about 7.5 weeks after it sucked. You're no good. After the Oklahoma loss, all they heard was, it was a fluke. Y'all should have won. It was a fluke. You know, Oklahoma turnover. You just protect the ball. You just make your field goal. Y'all would have won. It's okay. It's a fluke. But now after this Georgia performance, it's, Alabama, you suck. You're terrible. You're no good. You should be bounced out of the playoffs. Favoritism. And I think that the motivation factor is extremely high for Alabama. I think Alabama's going to win. I think Kalen DeBoer is going to have a good game plan. I think you'll be happy. I think at the end of the night, you'll be surprised at some of the things that do happen for the Crimson Tide. And I'm going to take Alabama at I'm going to take Ryan Chapman's score, but I'll flip it. Ryan yesterday picked Oklahoma 24-17. I'm going to take the Tide 24-17. And I guess that will blow up my my bold prediction with Connor Talty, because they'll both be at no. He'll have one extra point. He'll have one more extra point.
I guess so. Yeah.
Than Tate Sandell. They'll both kick one field goal, 2 extra points for Sandell, 3 for Connor Talty.
Start buying a technicality.
Hey, more points is more points. So, we'll go 24-17. My bold prediction is that Connor Talty will outscore Tate Sandell, and we'll be talking to you on Monday in a victorious fashion, getting ready for a Rose Bowl matchup with the Indiana Hoosiers.
I expect many angry voicemails directed at me if Alabama does indeed pull this game off.
Sure. Want to remind you, the voicemail line is open. Dax missed you today, but it's probably part of your superstition, not calling. It's okay. Trying to reverse the mojo a little bit. You guys can call the voicemail line, win, lose, or draw, at 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to leave us your thoughts on the game. If Alabama wins, you want to blast Mason. If Alabama loses, you want to complain about the game, complain about Kalen DeBoer or the offensive line, whatever you want to talk about. Obviously, look, if Alabama loses, I expect the transfer portal to bust wide open on Saturday, which is not fun, but I do expect that. So we'll kind of react to everything that happens. Ooh, we got one comment, Mr. Ollie Woods. You'll hear from me for sure. So we hope that he calls in for sure. 205-462-7340, extension 800 for that voicemail line. It's always open. We'd love to take your calls, and we will talk to you on Monday. Win, lose, or draw, right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.